Anglesey, the island in North Wales, known best probably for where the idea for the original Land Rover began. But it's also where this place exists. This is the Anglesey Transport Museum. And this museum was started by one guy who just could not stop buying cars, motorbikes, tractors, trucks, planes, and I think there's a train or two somewhere as well. So I wanted to come here because I've never been here and get an idea of how this all began and why he's bought what he's bought, because this is still to this day owned by him and his family. This is a rather unusual Car Cave episode of The Late Break Show. I'm Jonny Smith. I have to say, it's an absolute pleasure to come to this is your empire.
It's not an empire.
Because the thing is like I said in the intro, museums are often, you know, they're owned by corporations, or, you know, but this is basically your excuse to hoard cars. Not just cars, everything. Trucks, tractors,
yep,
motorbikes.
You name it.
But the thing that we're leaning on, this Land Rover, is the one that started this whole journey for you?
Yes, I bought it off a farmer in Gaerwen Hill in Nant. I've known him all my life. It was 150 quid, and I asked him, can I give you 50 quid a week for 3 weeks? Yeah, now it is to me. So I gave him 150. So I had diesel and it wouldn't start in winter. Shit, a daily mirror, flames in the inlet and all sorts of things. So I decided I was going to put a Jag V12 in it.
Okay.
But I had to whiten the chassis and all sorts on it.
Yeah.
So I decided in the end to put a Rover V8 in it. Yeah. With a Mk1 box. I had an MOT station then, so I didn't need handbrake today. Just put it in park. It's got a Rover 100 diff, and she pulls well. She does pull well.
And what year was this when you bought this?
I've had it 55 years. Since 1964.
Goodness me, you've had it 55 years, that's great. And then, so you were running a garage?
I was mobile with this to begin with.
You were mobile, okay.
Going to quarries, farms, tractors, bulldozers, things like that.
Yeah.
And I bought a tin shed in Gaerwen, 5 grand. And I started doing wagons, anything with smoke in it. Yeah. And we extended the garage 5 times. I was there for 40 years. Okay. With business. I sold it 7 years ago. So that's enough.
Not long ago.
Electric cars coming in, electronics, no, that's enough.
Yeah, you're out now.
We can fix all these.
Yes.
These with electric cars, no.
Yeah.
Not for me.
And so as you made good money through the business of repairing cars and that sort of thing, you just kept buying stuff.
Buying, yes.
And that's what this is.
Yes.
You just can't help yourself.
I haven't finished yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I'm 75 now. Well, we just finished the top roof of that shed. I've got another shed going over the back to keep the farm implements in. So that's the lot then. I've got no room.
I know a lot of people come to this museum of yours because obviously we're on Anglesey. That map back there
is Wilks.
Yes, yeah. The home of...
Oh, a friend of mine, drinking partner, Gwilym, he passed away about 6 years ago. He lived next door to Maurice Wilks.
Wow.
In Park. And when Gwilym was about 8 or 9, he used to go and see Wilks. And Wilks told him, come on, Gwilym, we're going around the dunes now. He had a Land Rover with the steering in the middle. Yeah. And he flipped it over one day. Gwilym got checked out. I'm Wilks. Are you all right, Gwilym? Yes, Mr. Wilks. Are you all right? Let's get it back on his feet. He says, let's go.
And that's on the original centre
steering in the middle of it.
Wow.
It's only about 1.5 miles from you.
Right.
His house is still there. And he built a fridge, his own fridge. And the fridge is still in the house.
He built his own fridge?
His own fridge, yeah. He bought a Jeep, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he said, I can do something better than this there.
Yeah.
And that's it, the rest is history.
And that's what this is.
Just took off there.
So do you get a lot of people coming here as like a pilgrimage
because
of the Land Rover?
Yeah,
right.
Maurice Wilks, yeah.
Right. So before I go on this majestic tour of your place, how many vehicles have you got here?
I think it's about 160 plus, yeah.
Okay.
It's nice to get the history of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more important than the vehicle itself, yeah. It's all about memories, isn't it? It's what they've been brought up with. Yeah. You know, the first car they took the missus to hospital to get the baby, and the ones they took to the wedding. Yeah. It's all back to that, isn't it?
It is. It is indeed. Yeah. It is indeed. Right, well, I'm going to go on this tour.
Come on then.
And I guess we'll start with, we should probably start with this.
Lotus Carlton.
So this is interesting. I did not expect to see a Lotus Carlton that was heavily modified from a certain era. I used to work on Max Power magazine, so I remember this sort of style. Yeah. Did you modify this?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah, at 377 horsepower, it's very good.
Yeah.
But I wanted a bit more out of it, so send the turbos to ITT turbos, more internals in it, throttle bodies, remapped it, all sorts of things that. And she's pushing out 520 now.
520 horsepower?
I think she'll top out about 190.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, good fun.
They didn't necessarily need more power. And you've gone full, you've gone the sort of chameleon style purple paint, the quad headlight conversion, the tinted indicators. It's great. You say that this is a divisive car in the museum. To some people, the purists don't necessarily.
Purists don't like it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't care about them.
Yeah.
I love it. It's the way I've done it, it's to my taste.
Yeah.
The other one we got in there, she'll be bog standard.
Yeah. Okay, so you're restoring another one.
Yeah, she's on the ramp in there. She'll be as factory finish.
Okay. Wow, this is great. I love all the polished tanks.
Looks better than plastic, doesn't it?
Yeah. Looks wonderful.
Goes well.
So this and the Land Rover, these are these are your sort of some of your favourites. Yeah. Show me a couple of other favourite cars you've got in the museum.
Let's go and see the proper cars.
So tell me why these cars, why we should care about Austin Westminsters, because you've got a real thing for them, haven't you?
They're undervalued.
Yes.
And they're built like tanks.
Okay.
The quality on these is second to none.
Right.
That big 6-cylinder engine, they used the same engine in 5-ton lorries. So moving a car was no problem, was it?
And you've got
1, 2, 3, 4,
7,
5, 6, 7 of them.
And is this all the generations? Which is the first one?
Just standing next to us now, that's the A90 short boot. That's the first.
Okay.
And 55. Then the A95 came out, and the 105 came out, and the Vanden Plas Princess. They only made 500 of these. There's 4 left.
That's the one that's 4 left in the world.
It's the best of them.
Wow.
She's 1959 and it's got 31,000 on the clock.
Goodness me.
The gentleman bought that one off in Birmingham after I bought this. He rang me. Mr. Williams, yes. Congratulations, he says to me, you got the best in the world, he says. For this one. And the last incarnation is the Austin 3 litre.
The double headlight one?
Double headlamp one, and that's the 110 Westminster.
So this, because my brother used to have an Maurice Oxford, which was this sort of shape but a smaller car.
Yeah.
So these were like really popular British sort of executive cars, right?
Executive cars. If you had one of these new, this would cost you the same as 3 houses.
Right.
It was £1,500 in 1959.
Was it?
Expensive car.
That was 3 houses worth?
Yes.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
No, they're good cars, they're comfortable, they're reliable. The engine is bulletproof, yeah.
I think what interests me for younger generations is they know of Austins and Rovers, and those names don't necessarily resonate with quality.
No.
Whereas Rover used to be
top notch.
Yeah, only a couple of rungs down from Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
Okay, so Westminsters you clearly got a thing for. Vauxhalls, including the Carlton Lotus. Any other vehicle here that's particularly sentimental to you?
Yeah, there's a little grey Fergie in the top there, EY986. I was helping a farmer in Newborough, Richie Lloyd, when I was about 12. And the tractor stood in the garage for a year, and I asked him, what's happening with the Fergie? He said, if you can get it going, he says to me, you can have it. I got it going in 2 weeks.
Really?
And I still got it, and I got a picture of it.
He gave it to you?
He gave it to me, yeah. And there's me on the back of it, 2 years old.
And that's the tractor?
That's the tractor, yeah.
So he gave that tractor to you, and you're sat on it as a 2-year-old?
Yeah. There's a lot of history there.
Blimmin' X, so that's got to be really sentimental.
Very close. That's the start of it.
That's so cool that he said you could have it if you get it going.
Is this the clue as to but I got it going in 2 weeks.
Is this the only copy of this picture you've got?
I'm going to get it redone.
You must get it redone.
I've got a friend that does pictures.
Look at that.
Once it's gone, isn't it?
Yeah. Little did you know as a tiny lad, you're going to go, I'm going to own this tractor one day, and I'm going to own a blimmin' museum while I'm there.
Yeah, but I got it off him, got it running. Then I started my apprenticeship in Llangaffer as a mechanic with a wheel 2 miles away. Riding a bike, I said, no, I don't like this. So I used the Ferguson tractor. I took the weights off the governor so I could do 30 mile an hour. Work and back.
So you used to commute on the tractor?
Yeah, yeah.
As a mechanic?
Better than a bike, wasn't it?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh, wow. This is the main event then?
It's the main event.
Yeah, this is the room.
Well, it used to be where you say most of the cars were over here, but the irony is as we've expanded over the years, there's plenty of cars over the other side as well.
You've built more sheds.
Yeah, as you do, as you do.
Where should we start?
At the beginning?
Well, yeah.
Wherever that beginning wants to be.
I reckon we should start with that, because that Ford V8 Pilot is, we featured one of those on a recent barn find video. And
Yes.
I love the V8 Pilot.
It is. It's one of the favourites of mine as well, I must admit. Well, this was kind of an accidental purchase, really, because he went down to an auction, can't remember where, a few years ago,
Yeah.
to look for an Austin A105 Vanden Plas.
He was just talking about those Vanden Plas earlier.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, because that went silly money, this was the second car that he happened to see when he was down there.
Yeah.
And I'm quite glad he found this one, really, because we've got plenty of Austin
You do.
over there at the moment, but we didn't have one of these. And this is a lovely car and a very popular wedding car.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you do weddings?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Do a few weddings here and there.
Yeah.
It's quite nice because it keeps the cars going.
Yeah.
It's a good bit of advertising for us here, because whenever you stop, as I'm waiting for the bride and groom, I'm chatting to people like, oh, where's the car from?
Yeah.
So so it works. Works well, really.
They're a gorgeous car.
They are.
One of my brother's favourites, these are.
And not many people realise it's a Ford.
No.
They always think it's a Dodge or a Pontiac or whatever, you know.
Yeah. You got them?
Yeah, right next to it.
You got some of those here?
Yeah, and it's not much bigger than the Pilot.
I like
Bit
the
longer.
fact, I noticed the fact that this is factory right and drive.
Yes. Well, I
That's-
believe this was, we got this one from a guy down the road, but it had originally been in South Africa,
Yeah,
where I believe they're right-hand drive as well.
that's right.
But we took it as a right back to the beginning paint job, because it was full of little dents. It was like it had been jumped all over wherever it was standing. There were just
Right.
loads of little dinks all over it. So our lad Ian did a cracking job over a period of time and bringing it back to a good old red colour, which is nice and in your face, which is good.
Talking of red, actually, the XJS, am
Yes.
I right in thinking that's your car?
That is,
'Cause, like-
well, I've got to be careful when I say that, because the missus does say it's her car.
Oh, it's her car?
Yeah, so it's the wife's car.
Because
Really.
almost all these cars are the old
They all
ones.
belong to, apart from the odd one or two here and there, and a couple of mine. Yeah, they belong to the father-in-law.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
are allowed to bring a car or two in yourself.
yeah, well,
There
we
you go.
need. My sheds aren't big enough at home.
Yeah.
So, and it's not exactly the shortest of cars.
No.
So, but yeah, me and the missus use it. It's a good, fun car to drive.
Is it a V12?
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
There's
right.
no point in having a little engine in a V12. It's a big, long car. It needs a big engine.
Yeah. It's an itch I need to scratch in XJS.
Do it.
so-
You know you want to.
Yeah. So I was looking at the little mini commercials, because these end up being the rarest of the minis often, don't they? Because they get
They
used
get
hard.
battered.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this one was from Carnarvon originally. Well, you can see the picture. The guy's got his two dogs in the back of that one, but they used it for milk delivery with the old churns.
Did they really?
Yeah. So whether that was just on the nice days when he wanted to take the Mini out for a spin, I don't know. But
Because it's 1980, it's actually more modern and pickup than I thought.
yeah.
Because I know he really loves a local car.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole ethos of the museum
Yeah.
was local cars. So that's why you see so many EY Regis.
And they've got
Carnarvon Regis, you know.
and they've got all the stories attached to that, I suppose.
Most of them, yeah. The father-in-law certainly has more stories than I do.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've joined later in that period of the history of this place.
Yeah, what is the reaction of the people that come here? Because I know you get such a wide demographic of folks.
They love it. I mean, you hear it because the till's right next to the main door, and then when people sort of come in, you hear this, wow, look at that stuff. You know, I mean, it does tend to be there's a certain age group of bloke I think that comes in here and recognises instantly a lot of cars he's probably regretted he had to sell on to buy the next car.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of that general reaction.
You're pulling on the nostalgic strings all the time, though, aren't
Yeah.
you?
I mean, as the father often says, you know, we are just custodians of this stuff for the next generation, which is kind of what's happening with him now as he's getting older, and now my daughters are involved.
Yeah.
So it's that constant just looking after stuff for people to come and have a look at.
Yeah. I've just noticed that car's full of dolls. Oh my gosh.
Dolls always freak people out, but I love that.
Now this we must mention on this episode, because this is one of the most special cars here for the sake of the fact that we're in a car museum in Wales.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this is the only Welsh car.
I think it's the only car
Ever
made and
Yes.
produced in Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Gilban Invader, one of the sort of last ones that they did this one. A lot of Ford running gear, Ford V6 engine in it.
Yeah.
But one of the only cars that doesn't belong to us. It's on long-term loan, partly because they're quite expensive things to buy and they're in good condition.
This one looks mint. I was looking at it from a distance and I thought, bloody hell, that is gleaming. It looks really
well,
good.
The previous owner, Tony, it's a slightly sad story in the fact that he'd bought this many years ago. Never got a chance to see it fully rebuilt because unfortunately he was diagnosed with an incurable cancer. But when he knew this, he knew he wanted this car to stay on Anglesey.
Right.
And although his brother Chris, he was giving it to, he said, I don't want my brother taking it to Italy. It's got to stay in Wales.
Oh, his brother lives in Italy?
Yes,
right.
yeah, although he comes and goes. So we did a bit of an arrangement, a deal. So his brother will come and collect it one weekend a year to take it to, I think, probably a national show to go and show it off.
This probably needs no introduction. Sierra Cosworth,
Yeah.
the booted one, the Sapphire.
Yeah, the Sapphire. But yeah, this is a Bethesda car, so not far up the road. But Arfon used to service it, just got to the garage.
Oh, really?
And again, much like many of these cases, sadly the fella eventually passed on, but he wanted this car to go to a good home, so they did a good deal, and Arfon bought it many years ago.
That's great. Original number plates, I like that.
Yeah,
College, what did it say? College Motors, a banger. That's great.
So hopefully we keep talking about this. The daughter Jasmine is desperate to see this one on the road again.
I bet. Because you guys do work in-house, don't you? You've got your own workshop in-house.
Yeah. We try to keep as much as we can. I mean, for cost more than anything else. But there's a good group of us. Not a lot of us, but we've all got good skill bases to kind of mix up what we need to do. Occasionally you've got to send stuff off because you just don't have the machines or the facilities for doing it. But yeah, we try and keep it as in-house as possible.
Keeping it Ford. I guess this is the Ford line, isn't it? The Gilburn's got the Ford
running gear, yeah.
And then you've got the RS2000 Escort, which is, what's this? 2 owners from new, bought originally from Kirby's of Wrexham, stayed its life on Anglesey, a very original car.
It is. Nothing's been done to it.
Really?
Yeah,
this hasn't been restored?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. It's looking bright and well for that.
Yeah.
I've never done an RS2000 barn find, actually. The RS2000.
It's probably because they've all been kind of not already.
They have. Yeah. They've all been
there's
found.
quite a lot of RS2000s in and around Anglesey because we've got the North Wales Ford Meet Club. They've been coming to us 10 years this year, actually. So we see a lot of the RS2000s that have been completely overhauled within the club. And there's some lovely ones there.
And I'm sure there's been a lot of rally cars that have come and gone around here as well.
Yeah.
Seen a few of these because obviously not far from here they make brand new versions of these. The MST
that's
Mark
right.
1 and Mark 2.
Yeah.
So I've driven a few of the repro ones, and we've seen a few of these on the channel, pulling them out of sheds and things. This again, this looks original.
It's that original. We still haven't quite finished it. I think we've got to put some carpets in it. It needs its wing mirror, but it got put in here 20 odd years ago.
Did it really?
And we've never managed to get everything out again to get through. But again, it's another one we've just got to finish off.
So this is another one that Arfon bought.
I think he got this off one of the lads, Sogs, that worked for him at his garage ticker on down the road. So he bought it off him, and it was repainted in the garage. I remember putting the engine in this actually. So I think it's at the 1600 in this one.
So I know that's a Zodiac and they're both Zodiacs?
Yes, both. But that's the executive and that's a standard.
Right, okay.
That one is one of Arfon's favourites. That was one of the more original cars, as in the early days.
Yeah.
But that used to be effectively, as far as I'm told, it was a dog kennel really for a while in Bangor.
Oh, lovely.
So there wasn't a lot of interior left in it. And then, in fact, the company that I used to work for a while, Many Upholstery, they completely redid all the inside because there was literally nothing.
It looks great.
Can't
walk past an Allegro without mentioning it because obviously quite a lot of people follow my channel because of my sad affection towards...
Connection to Allegros.
This is the Vanden Plas, of course. This was the daddy of the Allegros with the Rolls-Royce-esque grille and the walnut tables on the back.
Yeah.
And it's an automatic. Yeah. Bloody hell.
But this was donated to us.
Was it?
Yeah. an old fella that sadly passed away, and he left it to his kids in the will, but with the, I think he knew his kids would probably never drive it.
Right.
So he'd said it would be nice if you donated it to a museum of your choice. So they used to come here with the family sort of once a year. And but they said the only thing, if we're going to give it to you, if the flat cap has to stay on the back parcel shelf. That was the one thing he said in the will. So as you see, his flat cap is still firmly positioned in the middle of the parcel shelf there.
Oh.
So, but yeah, it's in good nick. It's been pretty well looked after for its life.
It's such a
Still
good...
starts and runs.
My grandpa used to wear a flat cap driving his Allegro, similar cap to that. I did a barn find shooting brake one of these only recently. It was in this colour too.
Yeah.
P6, yeah. I've got a real thing for these, obviously. And the P5B.
I must admit, I'm more of a P5B guy.
You're more of a B?
Yeah, there's something about the stance of it. See, I love the Volvo Amazons.
Yes.
And there's a similar kind of look to the both of them. They're beefy.
These are more regal looking than the P6, aren't they?
Oh yeah, very much so.
What if I said to you, like and subscribe? What would you say? Nothing? Great. Thanks for your support. Twat. 1985, I nearly said Allegro. Maestro. Sort of the successor of the Allegro.
Yeah, you think it is a level low vehicle in that sense, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is, bloody hell, this car's 40 years old.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, would you?
No. And this particular one, it hasn't even done 12,000 miles yet.
No.
Wow.
It came from a friend of ours who's a car dealer in Cooper, I think it was anyway, and he contacted Arfon to say, listen, I've got this Maestro, taking it in as a bit of a Partex or some kind of deal. He says, I can't sell it on to anywhere else other than the museum. He says, because it's like it's come out of the factory.
How's it managed that on Anglesey?
I've not got a clue.
Where we're surrounded by seawater and sea air.
It was worth having it in the museum, and of course it's a local reg.
Yeah, what an absolute survivor. The Automobile Palace.
Yeah, which is gone. That used to be a Glamour PG. But yeah, if you go online, I'm sure you'll see pictures of the Automobile Palace.
I wish I'd thought of a car dealer name like that. What a great name for a car dealer. The Automobile
potentially
Palace.
It's probably available because they haven't been going for a long
time. I might quickly register it. Now, I nearly bought one of these as a first car. You know, my brother was always trying to, because I always wanted a classic for my first car.
Yeah.
Ended up with a Beetle, but he kept saying, you want to get a Humber Scepter, because Johnny, you like American styling, and these are dead cheap, and they were. And they were like a sort of a hipster version of the Hillman Minx, from what I remember.
And they're still not a particularly expensive car to buy.
No.
There are very similarities between the old Cresta PA with the bit around the back window.
That wraparound window.
Yeah.
They've got some really good shapes to them.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those cars where if you were looking for a first classic and you were doing it on a budget, you could definitely get a car like this. And probably run it for not a lot of money at all. I like them.
It's the old lady.
Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Oh, she does not look well. Does she? She does not look well.
She's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she's not changed for many years, to be fair.
Tell you what, she's in effectively a resto mod lorry, isn't she?
Yeah.
As a member of the family, Chris, do you, because I know you're constantly trying to damage limitate how many cars Arfon buys.
It's, the problem is we've run out of room.
Yeah.
So the reality is, because he still likes buying cars.
Yes, so I believe.
He's going to have to...
just stop buying
either stop buying them, I can't see that happening, or maybe sell one or two on to make room for others. I don't know.
Does he actually ever sell anything? Genuinely? Because these people tend not to, when hoarders don't like selling stuff.
I know he sold 2 cars.
Or ever?
Well, certainly from the museum. A Reliant Kitten.
Okay.
And a little Maurice 12, I think it was. Well, the Maurice 12 has gone to somebody that works for us every now and then.
Yeah. I do have a thing for mopeds.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got no excuses to have one, but I've always liked a ped.
Yeah, I never really had much time for them when I was younger, but as I get older, I think they're just good fun. They're easy to put together in your shed. Yeah.
Of course, obligatory Sinclair
C5. Well, what good would a museum be if it didn't have a Sinclair C5?
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, a late BSA Bantam, I used to have one of those.
Yeah, they're still very popular.
Yeah.
There's still a few knocking around. Well, they made, God knows how many.
They made a lot of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Panthers, my favourite. I'm going to get that one on the road one day again.
This.
Yeah, I have ridden it on the road, but many years ago. It's such a big thumper.
That's cool.
But they tend to use them all with sidecars rather than. That's why they got the dampers on the up here, so it can control the steering, stiffen the steering up a bit for
okay.
sidecars.
Okay. I like all your illustrations.
Yeah, well, that was all my dad. That was Gareth Davies.
He's painted everything.
Yeah, everything. I mean, just before we first opened, obviously, so 25 years ago, pretty much now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, good old artist, and he's still putting pen to paper.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Well, I guess as we've seen a good proportion of what's in here, we might as well muddle our way over to the workshops and see what interesting things you can find over there.
Let's go. Take me there. Oh, I was going to say, just up there is the tractor display. Ordinarily that's open, but we're actually here while the museum's closed for maintenance in winter. It'll probably be reopened again by the time you watch this video.
It should be, yeah.
But we'll put some photos on screen of the tractor area. I'd like to go in there, but there's no electricity functioning at the moment.
No, not going to see much at the
I
moment.
can't see anything. So I know you do camping here, right?
Yes, yeah, we got glampers here and a CL site. But we've got three. I mean, this is one of our glampers here.
This?
Yeah, the old Leyland Hippo, 1944.
Is that what it's called? A Leyland Hippo?
I know, it's great, isn't it?
That's cool.
You can peer through the back if you like on the way through.
So you can sleep in there?
Yes, yeah, it sleeps up to 4 people. It's a family wagon, really. Old beast.
It's like a gypsy caravan.
It is. Well, that's the daughter. She's been doing all the picking up her artistic abilities again. She's painted it all up at the back.
That's ace.
So makes it a bit more family friendly. Got a good feel to it.
Looks cool.
Ideal.
Seen enough junk now?
No, I still want to see more.
More to see.
I haven't had enough yet. So obviously we've talked about your father-in-law's OG Land Rover there, but you've got a line of Land Rovers.
We've got a bit of a mix.
This is your earliest Land Rover you've got here, is it?
It's the earliest, yeah, it's the oldest, 1957. So not super early Series 1, but it's one that came quite cheap many years ago before Land Rovers got super popular and super expensive.
But it's got some nice material.
You know what? I love Land Rovers when they're a bit battered.
Yes, I agree.
To me, that's what a Land Rover looks like.
Yes.
But it's really popular. I've done loads of weddings with it. It's done some theatre work out in Trasfynydd, where it was out on the mountains as part of their show.
Really?
Yeah, and it's seen a few celebrities in the past, which is always quite nice. But yeah, it's a good polish and it starts off on the button.
I don't know if you're allowed to drive one of these around Anglesey, or do you get spat at for...
No, that's fine. Right. Well, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have that.
Exactly. So, I love these.
Which is why it's quite nice to see them together, you know.
Agree.
But yeah, it would have been interesting to see and drive the original one with the centre steering and all the mix-up of bits and Rover axles on old Jeeps. Yeah, but a good bit of kit. Still quite entertaining to drive.
I think they're ace. But I have to say, I'm not like a big bus or coach nerd. This is one of the prettiest coaches I've ever seen, especially from the back. It's so shapely.
It is, especially with its fin on the back end.
It's got this almost Tatra aero fin on the back.
Yeah,
what an amazing thing.
1934. It's but very lovely and restored by Mark Farrell of Farrell Transport up in Cheshire Way, who kind of completely redid all the inside and outside. It had no seats in it to begin with.
It's a miracle that this wasn't scrapped decades ago.
Yeah, well, it was in Birmingham somewhere for a number of years on an airfield, I believe.
I recognise one of these because the podcast that I do every week, Smith and Sniff, our podcast tour vehicle is in fact a Senator, albeit a stretch limousine.
To have a bit more room.
I love it. It's an 8-seater.
You can sleep in the back then if you get caught out. Yeah,
it's great, but it's not a 24 valve, which is what this is.
Yeah.
So this was the police.
Same as the police cars.
The police favourite.
Yeah. And sort of the next one on really from the GSI 3 litre, which again is a bit more of a rare bear nowadays. It
is really rare because everyone thinks of the Lotus Carltons, but this was the rung down from that.
Yeah, this is what the Lotus Carlton came from, and you can tell it when you match up with the shapes of the front end, quite different to the Senator.
I have to say, I always loved the wheels of these.
Yeah.
And the body kit. What's really cool is that your father-in-law also, because he's obviously into his Vauxhalls,
Yeah.
he daily drives a VXR8.
He did, and not a standard one by any choice either. It's been supercharged, it's been cammed, it's had bigger, heavier pulleys put on the crank and the turbo because it was pulling them off. It's been chipped, obviously, and all the rest of it. So it's running about 7,500 horsepower at the moment. So, and you do your shopping in it.
So he daily drives a 700 plus horsepower car.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Because why not? He's earned
As
it,
the curator of the museum.
Yeah, he's got to have something a bit of fun to have.
We'll get a shot of it if we can. He actually keeps going out in it. But... Okay, so it's definitely not standard GTE Mark II Astra.
No, it's had a bit of work.
I love these.
Yeah.
Is this a competition car? What's the deal?
It was built as a competition car. I mean, the long story short is a guy originally in Holyhead, just up the road, had started the build. As far as I'm aware, body and running gear. I'm not sure about the wheels, body, running gear and the roll cage.
Yeah.
I think he then either ran out of time or money, not sure. But it got sold to a younger lad in Wrexham, who then obviously threw a whole load of money at it.
Yeah.
And I've got the spec sheet over some of that with all the stuff that was done to the engine. This thing is as noisy as it comes.
Is it?
And it's very rough on the idle. You can't let it idle. You've got to keep it going because it's a flat out or nothing.
Yeah.
So with them trumpets and stuff, it's all about throwing as much in as you can. But it was set out for flat out rallying.
Yeah.
But I think when he finally finished it, I think he was a bit loath to potentially take it road rallying.
Because it was too good.
Or maybe he also ran out of money
Ran
because it
out of
must have
money.
cost him a fortune.
Yeah.
So he came here and offered it to us at a reasonably good price, to be fair. And it's been here ever since. It's done a couple of shows, but on the back of a flatbed there, because it's not actually sort of legitimately on the road, this one really. It's
properly 90s, isn't it?
Yeah.
With
It's got the TSW wheels.
The arches and
Yeah.
the Venom wheels. Yeah.
It turns heads. It definitely turns heads.
We must give a quick mention to the Mark III Vauxhall Cavalier here because it's a V6. I don't think there's many of these left.
No, certainly not in that condition.
Is that in really good condition?
Yeah. I mean, that belonged again to a chap that used to bring it to Arfon's garage in Gaydwen, Tickering Garage.
Yeah.
And it was offered to him, I think. I can't remember. It's been here a long time.
Has it? This sign says military vehicles this way.
Absolutely. Entrez-vous. Come and have a look.
Come through, come through. Searchlight lorry.
Yeah, old Comma Super Poise with our eBay Searchlight. Leyland generator that came from the Vauxhall estate, which is just what you need to power a big Searchlight.
I was going to say, bloody hell.
Yeah, at eBay purchase at auction, we decided we want one on it. And then within 5 minutes, we basically owned one. It was just ending on eBay at the time. So. Armoured pig based on the old Humber 1-ton chassis. So a very big, heavy, wallowy lump of metal. But I suppose back in the time, you're almost better off in that than you were not.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, fun to drive. Quite interesting.
1951 Leyland Martian. 6x6 recovery tractor with the Rolls-Royce 6.5 litre straight A. How the hell do you get into Militaria from the cars and maybe the tractors?
I think it was a natural progression, really, because we already had the old Albion at the back, but that was done up in his garage colours at the time, sort of green and red.
Oh, right.
We had the Comma Super Poise that was painted up blue, which is the auxiliary fire service. He used to use them with that.
Yeah.
So we then got the Bedford RL, which came from the local scrapyard, and it was already in military guise, so we kind of redid it back to a military vehicle properly. And then it was like, but we've already got 2 military vehicles. Why didn't we put them back in his green coat? So we did that, and then that kind of started. We've got 3. Let's start collecting some military stuff. In fact, the only reason really we bought this one is because when we saw it in the advert, it had a vice on the bonnet, on the, what do they call it? Bumper.
Oh, on the vice.
Yeah, and we said, well, anything with a vice on the bumper has got to be bought.
Bloody hell, I've never seen that in my life.
And it's a really good vice as well, because obviously it's curved. I think one side is curved, the bottom jaw, so you can get a pipe in it. So cracking bit of kit.
I know about winches, I know about couplings, but having a bumper vice is another.
But again,
level.
there's part of the REMI. So in terms of what you needed out in the field, to do with like replacing engines and stuff.
Yeah.
You're always going to need to do repairs on bits and bobs. So that's what you got to buy. So.
This was never going to be going fast, was it?
No, but it goes all right. It's quite good to drive actually, because it's actually got power steering, unlike the 10-year older ones that have none, and you sweat something rotten driving them.
Yeah.
But this one actually, it's okay to drive, and of course you can drive it in a normal license.
And one to the gallon.
1 to the gallon. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It doesn't go to the Llandudno show anymore.
Because it costs you.
It costs a fortune, about 300 quid to get it there and back. Yeah.
Right, so let's go into the resto workshop here.
Yeah.
So you're someone that works here.
I am.
Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you.
Aye.
What I like, and I don't want this to sound like I'm an old man, but it's nice to see young people interested in old cars.
Yeah.
And you're clearly really into it.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm sort of a bit of a car nerd is all I am, really. It's kind of, I've always been into the cars, and it's kind of, this job found me in a way. It's, it's kind of what I was born to do, as I always say.
Well, this car behind, so this is the second Lotus Carlton that you guys have got.
This one is the 11th one that they built. It's a very early one.
Wow.
And it's been with us, well, he's owned it twice, which is a long story in itself. But it got taken to a local garage 2 or 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
To just have a general once over and see what it needed doing. And the engine in it is sweet as a nut, but found a little bit of corrosion. And then that little bit of corrosion, as soon as we peeled back all the body kit, turned out to be a lot of corrosion. So our fabricator's been busy for, well, he does 2 days a week. He's been here about a year now. He's done all the way around the back of the car.
Yeah.
He's done new inner and outer sills on the other side. It's had chassis legs both sides of the front. This one's coming to just about be finished now.
Yeah.
He's had to remake the wings because they were completely rotten, the inner structures of them and everything. And then we've got the modified purple Lotus Carlton.
Yes, the max power spec one.
The max power spec, and then this is going to be kind of it goes with it because this is going to be original.
Factory standard.
Factory, spot on, nothing modified on it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And then on the other side, you've got a totally different car, Mk1 Mini,
Absolutely.
which is, again, having a full rebuild by the look of it.
Yeah, that's been totally rebuilt. It's one of the first Minis that was registered on the island, to our knowledge.
Oh, really? Well, you will have seen quite recently on the channel, we did a Mk1 Mini Cooper barn find, and that barn find was actually probably about 20 miles from where we're stood right now, 25 miles. So it's just and that one needs this. It needs restoring, just like this one.
So outside we kind of have the big toys that won't fit in the building.
The plane.
This is a 1955 Hawker Hunter. It's an old Navy training jet, which spent many years perched on top of a pole outside our local RAF site in Valley.
Oh, did it? Right, it was one of those on a plinth.
Yeah, it was mounted on a plinth, and then it got replaced with a Hawk, and the plane ended up coming to us. And we've done, it's had a complete repaint and everything like that, and it's got the ejector seats you would have seen before.
Yeah, so those seats inside are from this?
They are from this, yeah.
Right.
And the canopy pops open and everything on it, and we're hoping to build some kind of platform for observation at some point.
Yeah. That's so, it's so random.
It's quite a huge thing, but it certainly catches people's eye when they pass on the road.
Well, and it's just parked casually next to a shunter, or whatever that is.
So this is I think it's a 51, this one. Lincoln Ruston engined diesel locomotive. It was one of the first diesel locomotives to be used on Anglesey, up at the bromine site on the north coast of the place.
So hang on, Ruston, that's Ruston Hornsby.
It is, yes. It's Ruston Hornsby with a Lincoln Ruston engine, I believe.
Yeah.
And just this past summer, Jasmine and I have kind of repainted the whole thing just to make it look as it would have done. It's the original silvery grey livery with the stripes down the side. And then hopefully over the next coming summer, we're going to do windows in it, get the inside looking good.
Yeah.
And then we've got the 2 carriages to do as well. So plenty to keep us busy.
You have plenty to be getting on with.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jasmine, your grandpa set up this place.
Yep.
Your mum and dad run this place.
Yeah.
You're bound to have either loved cars or loathed them.
Definitely always love, I think, because I wasn't spending on them. I just got to watch the fun bits happen. So.
Yeah.
And my Tide always bringing stuff in, like I was saying earlier about the Lotus. When he brought that in, I just remember the green lights as a kid, and I was like, that is the sickest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, what, the underglow
on
in the
purple
Lotus
one.
Carlton?
Yeah,
The
and he
Lotus-
brought it in, and that's what kind of impressed us. So
The fact that your grandpa bought a Lotus Carlton and fully modified
justified it with underglow. I know.
with chameleon paint and underglow. So this is your trusty Steed Mark 1 MX5.
Yes. Yeah.
Who doesn't love them?
No one, I don't think. I think over the car community, they're the most loved car by everyone.
Well, I think what they are is they're the gateway to rear-wheel drive and kind of communicative driving that's affordable.
Definitely. I mean, it's got like, I can't remember what it was, but the guy that designed them is like, he designed it so it's a driver's car.
Yeah.
It's not practical or anything like that. It is just for driving. You sat right in the middle. It's a 50-50 kind of weight ratio, and it's just, yeah, it's a perfect car.
Yeah.
Couldn't complain.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to be doing this up over the next year?
Yeah, so the guy before had it, he's used it for drifting. It's got the welded diff and the roll bar. He's taken the power steering on the air conditioning out just for weight kind of thing. But there's a few bits I want to do to make it more mine.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I'll be taking it on the track hopefully and getting good at drifting and going sideways.
Brilliant. Well, you live near Anglesey Circuit, so
Yeah,
that's
I know.
a good excuse.
It's a pretty good place.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. And I guess as time goes on, you're getting more and more involved in the museum as well, right?
Yeah, so I've always worked in the cafe, and it was only kind of last summer I'd whinged enough at my dad to be like, come on, I'm sick of working in the cafe now. Can I do some stuff on cars? Because I've passed my test.
Yeah.
And yeah, he accepted, and I've been working here since. And having Emma here, he's got so much knowledge. It's a good place to work and a really good place to learn as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
When does one person's car collection become a museum? Well, I suppose it's when you write the word museum above the door and you start charging people an entry fee. But really, this is the product of one person's out of control hoarding tendencies and a massive passion for all vehicles, all shapes and sizes. And that's why I wanted to come and share this amazing car cave with you guys on the channel. If you have got a car cave that you think is worth us coming to look at, you've seen the ones we've done in the past, let us know. There is an email address, get in touch with us, give us a list of the vehicles and maybe show us some pictures of the building, and maybe we'll come and film at yours soon. If you'd like to support this channel via Patreon for a couple of quid a month, you get weekly blogs from me and you get early access to videos just like this one before they go out to the public. All that's left to say is if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love you to subscribe. And thanks very much to Anglesey's Transport Museum. And if you're wondering, like me, because I'm not Welsh, what this means, Tackler Tide, apparently it means Grandpa's junk. Not like that.